Did you understand Singlish straight away when you first came to Singapore?
I see a lot of English mother tongue come here and try to interact with people, in particular in services, and being frustrated because they don't understand, and then they'll be like, speak in English. And I find that is, one, very rude, and two, I think it's a total lack of understanding of how languages work. I find Singlish is so efficient and so frustrating at the same time. I remember when we first moved, the first time we had to check the AC, mandatory check every 3 months. And then I had the number of the technician. And so we're chatting, and I was very polite, I was well raised. So it's like, could you please confirm that Wednesday at 3 p.m. is a good time for you? And the answer was, Wednesday can. I was like, okay, so too many words. I don't know, this is just my gut feeling, but I think that most people in Singapore who speak English at home are perfectly capable of speaking full English with full grammar when they have to. Also because it happens with other languages that are more of a variant or a variation of a language and that is simplified, is that when you need to express complex thoughts, you need complex grammar. At some point, if you want to express something deep, if you want to express a deep concern or a deep doubt, you want to say, or a deep regret, you want to say, had I known that, I would have acted in a different way, or I would have made another decision. You can't say that without conditionals. You can actually express that regret, that deep regret and that deep reflection, if you don't have a structure that allows you to do that. And Singaporeans are very well-read and very intelligent people who evolved in a very complex environment. So I am sure that they have linguistic tools to express all those thoughts. I'm sorry if I'm being too technical. I'm a linguist, so that's what I do for a living. So
what's the interesting features of Singlish for you?
So efficiency, for sure. I mean, the on the lights, off the lights, I think that's wonderful.
That's the best.
It's wonderful. Because for people who speak Latin languages, phrasal verbs are a nightmare. Like get in, get out, things like take care of and watch out for. I mean, all the phrasal verbs are a nightmare. Singlish just doesn't have that. And then I guess that's taken from Chinese, but the yesterday can. It's wonderful. I mean, it's just so efficient. But again, at the same time, I suppose, I don't know because I don't master Singlish, or like things like la, when you want to emphasize something, and that we have that in all languages, like those little words that can make stronger whatever you're saying. That's wonderful. But again, when you want to express a complex idea, I think it has its limitations. I suppose even for business, it must be very efficient. And the problem probably comes when you need a certain level of detail. I'm fluent in Britain's English.
Yeah.
Talk about language efficiency. I have to say that proper English in Singapore is one of the most beautiful things that I've come across ever. Like, when you Google something, like I talked about the tax returns the other day, when you have any doubts about any official proceedings, you Google, you find the answer, and you actually understand the answer. They use words that you understand.
Yes, that's true. All the instructions, Oh yeah, that's actually true. They don't use this like a lawyer
jargon.
Language.
I'm actually now dealing with a bid for a huge client in Europe. It's a huge thing. And I'm going through a mountain of paperwork. And I'm perfectly fluent in French. French is almost like my mother tongue. And still, I go through the words and I don't know what they're saying. And I keep thinking, if this were in Singapore, instead of 20 pages, we'll have half a page and it will be super clear, it'll be bullet points, and I'll know exactly what they need from me.
I think it's also like different levels of Singlish. So it can be just an accent with casual la, le, or it can be like heavy Singlish. I
don't believe in heavy Singlish. I think that people who speak heavy Singlish, they're just making your life miserable. Or they're doing it on purpose. I mean, they can speak like that to one another. I mean, to someone who belongs to the community or at home or with their friends. But if they're talking to a foreigner, I'm sure they can speak something closer to English so you can understand. So I'm totally for using foreign languages when you don't want people to understand, and I see why they would be used to kind of like making your life harder. But I don't believe that someone who speaks like deep Singlish cannot switch into something that you can understand.
It's like my daughter, she's like proud that she can speak Russian, so she can speak language that almost no one else understands. And she talks to me in Russian, and she knows that her friends, they don't understand what she's saying.
When my kids were little, so I always speak Spanish to them, and then they were born in Switzerland, and then we moved here, so they never lived in Spain. And I remember when they were little, when we go to Spain on holidays, they would like look at people and say, "Mommy, they speak like you." It's like they speak all these people. It's like, so Spanish is actually a real language. It's not something that my crazy mom invented. It's like it's not some secret language just among us.